Welcome to the Amira channel on Game of Life 411, where we talk about everything of interest to car enthusiasts like you. It doesn't have to be just about the Lotus Amira. Today I'm going to talk about the best value in high-performance driving events. And I just this past weekend went to the BMW Performance Center for one of their M schools. And I didn't just roll out of bed this morning and say, oh, hey, I went to that event and now I'm an expert and I want to tell you all about it. I've actually been going to those events every single year for about 25 years, and many years I went twice per year. So I know a lot about it, and I'm going to share with you some information and explain at the end the secrets that make this the absolute best value high-performance driving events. For comparison, I've also got experience with driving events at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Virginia International Raceway, NC CAR, the Center for Automotive Research, etc. I'll also share a couple fun facts and stories about how I met Danica Patrick at one of these events, about how they set the world record for drift endurance on their skid pad here at the BMW Performance Center, and how these events are really open to drivers of all ages, all skill levels, etc. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. When I shared a picture recently, my daughter said that I was starting to look like Santa. What do you think? Any resemblance? During this season of giving, why not give your loved ones a gift that might just change their lives for the better? My YouTube channels, websites, and Facebook groups. They're free, and you never know what little piece of information might be just what they needed. This is Santa Pete wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. The BMW Performance Center in South Carolina opened in 1999, and I attended my first event in 2002. So I've been there since almost the beginning, and I've seen the program and the facilities expand and be improved over the many years. So for example, they've added off-road vehicle courses, they've added off-road motorcycle courses, and they've expanded the courses that they use for the car events as well. This part looks easy now, but look at this guy up on the hill. This is called the Frame Bender.
Yeah, I love the name. Looks like they got the same thing, except on the freaking
power, and then brakes. Ready? Power, brake hard.
Holy sh! That is nuts, man. That does not look safe at all. We're going to be in there in a second.
All right, turn the wheel straight. There we go. Give it some power. Then ready to brake. Ready?
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is crazy towns. I can't believe they're having us do this.
Let it flip over.
Oh my God. That was absolutely insane. I can't believe they allow us to do this in these $100,000 SUVs. Oh my God.
Big old insurance claim.
The first event I attended was a 2-day M school, and I had just purchased this beautiful M3 Cabriolet and was excited to learn more about the marque. It was a 2-day event. They had the first day at the BMW Performance Center, and then the second day was at the Michelin Proving Grounds, because Michelin is also located near the factory here in South Carolina. So it was a lot of fun, and they also had guest instructors there. So Danica Patrick was there in 2002. And this was before she was really well known or famous. She had been in the UK driving in some lesser series and getting some experience. And she was just moving back to the United States, and BMW was offering her a ride in one of their cars in one of their series. And so she came down and was sort of assisting the instructors during the event that I attended. And my fun story with Danica is that we were both sitting in a BMW M5 on their irrigated skid pad, going around and around in circles. And Danica was on the walkie-talkie talking to one of the regular instructors because we couldn't figure out how to break the rear tires free to get into a drift. And so she's talking on the walkie-talkie and she's like, what? Turn off the what? The DSC button? So she pressed that DSC button as I'm driving, and instantly we went spinning off into the grass. Luckily, everything there is safe. There are no obstacles to get hurt on, so it was a perfectly safe experience, but that was kind of fun. When I attended that first 2-day M school, it was just something I found on their website, and I was going in as sort of a random person off the street. It cost about $3,300, which is about $6,000 in today's terms. It's a pretty hefty price tag, and I wouldn't have been doing that for 25 years if I was paying that much. So near the end of the video, I'll explain how I'm able to do this much, much cheaper. When I returned home from that event, I was super jazzed. I wanted to get a track car and start going to tracks and tracking with the car clubs and all that kind of stuff. Well, we had a toddler, and we're hoping to grow our family. And my wife was not comfortable with that. She's like, it's too risky. While we've got a young family, I really need to know that you're safe. And I couldn't imagine losing you if something serious happened. So I contented myself with going to these BMW Performance Center events each year. And part of the reason is because it's an extremely safe track. Unlike real raceways, there are no blind corners, there are no hills you're cresting without being able to see onto the other side. It really is an extremely safe course. If you drive off the course, it's just open grass for the most part. There are a few very soft barriers, but really it would be hard to hurt yourself at this facility. The other great thing about going to these performance events is that you're using their cars, not your own. So from a financial perspective, it's actually a pretty good deal. You don't have to pay to maintain your own car, to insure it, to repair it, to put on new tires, et cetera, et cetera. So you're using all BMW's latest model vehicles. They're all their M models, typically, so they're hottest performing cars. And each of those cars is like $100,000. So you're really driving some awesome driving machines. And when you look at it that way, it's really a pretty sweet deal financially. Here's a fun fact. A few years ago, they set the world endurance drifting record here at the skid pad at the BMW Performance Center. And what amazed me the most was that they actually had to refuel while drifting. So I would suggest that you watch this short video. It's really, truly amazing. Now I'll break down a typical day in an M school at the BMW Performance Center. So you would typically start in the morning at 8 a.m. with some class time, and they actually compress that over their normal classes. Normally you're spending an hour and a half in there in class, but for the events that I attend, they're compressing that down to about half that because they expect that quite a few of the drivers are more experienced. The day is basically split in half, so you have 4 events in the morning, then a lunch break, and then 4 more events at the end of the day. Okay, in the morning, typically you're going to be out either on the skid pad, or they have a medium autocross course or a small autocross course with a slalom, and then they also have a irrigated pad where you do figure eights. Then you have lunch. They cater the lunch. They actually have excellent chefs. My wife went this last time and was really impressed with the quality of the food. So good lunch is put on. And then after that, you have a little bit more time in the classroom, and then you go back out for 4 more sessions. In the afternoons, typically they change things up. So you will have a big course. What they actually do is they combine the medium autocross course with part of the skid pad. So that's a lot of fun. Then you have what's called a sampler, and they take you to a new part of the track and have 4 different vehicles. I don't remember what all of them were, but I know we drove an M8, and we drove a Z4, and one of their SUVs, and maybe it was an M4. I can't remember exactly, but typically you're getting some fun cars. You switch out very frequently and get like 3 laps in each car. So that's a lot of fun and gives you exposure to a lot of the different vehicles in their lineup. And then you have 2 competitive events. So you have a timed autocross where you go through those slaloms and around this course and then have to stop in a stop box. They time that, and then they give out recognition to the top 3 times of the day. And in our group, we had 8 in our group. I had the second fastest time, and my son-in-law had the top time. So that was kind of fun. Unfortunately, neither of us was anywhere near the top times for the day. And then the second competitive event is called the Rat Race. And I had won the Rat Race once before, and I won it again this time, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
He's trying to show off already. Trying to intimidate.
Dad won. That's Dad in the blue car.
Good. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, big 5 from car number 1, but he hangs on to it. 1 lap down, we got 2 to go, and it's still somehow car 1 leading by a bit after the big slide. And he's been here before, so showing some experience here. 2 laps down, but car 4 is taking the lead. 1 to go this time, bud. 1 to go. Half a lap now. Still car 4 ever so slightly nearsides of car number 1, scoring style points, but not speed points. Car 4 is going to get it. Across the line for car 1. Car 4 stop. All right, both drivers come back to the pits for me. Back to the pits.
The most fun part, I think, was that on the final race of the rat race, or the finals, the other driver went out and he was like gunning the engine and spinning the wheels, trying to intimidate me. And I was sort of oblivious, really. I was just in my own head, preparing for the race, doing some deep breathing exercises, because adrenaline really affects you in these things. And anyhow, so we're doing our set laps. And in the very end, I was just kind of like edging ahead, and he spun out. So he crumbled under pressure, not me. And that was a lot of fun. After all of your events, then the instructors offer hot laps. And I think it's a good time to mention the quality of the instructors. The instructors that BMW hires for the Performance Center are all ex-racers. Actually, some of them are current racers. So these are not necessarily guys that you would see at the Indianapolis 500, but they have a lot of experience racing in a lot of the lesser series. And so they really are excellent drivers. You have open wheel drivers, you have drifters, you have just about anything you can imagine in terms of the instructors. And they're all very high quality. At the end of the day, they offer these hot laps where one of the instructors is driving and up to 3 passengers can ride along. And oh my goodness, it's crazy. I mean, you really, you've been pushing yourself all day trying to go as fast as you can and reduce your times on the various tracks. And then you see how they drive.
Make sure everybody gets a ride.
Woo!
Oh, you have
Okay. I'm going this first one again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like a completely different experience. They're taking lines and doing things with those cars that, I can only dream about. It's very eye-opening to see what a true professional can do with those vehicles on those tracks. And then at the very end of the day, we have sort of a get-together, and they award the awards for those couple competitive events. When I was working, I often was tight on time, and I don't sleep well in hotels. So I would attend the driving school on a Saturday, and I would actually get up at like 3 or 4 a.m., drive 4 hours to the Performance Center, do 8 or 9 hours of the driving event, and then get back in my car and drive home to Raleigh, North Carolina. So it was a very long day, but I did that for quite a few years and, still enjoying it. Now, in more recent years, I've been going with other people, right? I really enjoy these events. And so as my kids have grown up and, some close friends and whatnot, I've been able to treat them and take them with on these very affordable high performance driving events. And so, for example, I have taken my pastor, who is also sort of a BMW car guy. And I've taken all 3 of my kids multiple times now, my son-in-law, some other young people who are sort of close to our family and we call it the Beach Club, but we have known them since they were born. And let's see who else. I took both my parents, and they were, not young when we went. I think my dad was easily in his 70s, and my mom probably similar. She went a few years later, so she was probably getting close to 70. So they went with me. And then this last time, for the very first time, my wife came with, and that was a lot of fun. She's not really into this kind of stuff, but she had fun, and I'm just glad that I was able to get her to come along at least one time. My college buddy and the best man at our wedding, Jeff, also came and attended one time with me, and I treated my nieces. So 2 of my 3 nieces were interested in doing the event and came down and did one with me a few years ago. And it was kind of fun because I got to be known at that event as the cool uncle because I'd brought my nieces to this performance driving event. Okay, now we're going to get to the secrets of how this is the best value in high performance driving events. And I'm going to refer to my notes. So, if you've got anyone around you don't want to know these secrets, then go ahead and mute or flip to something else. But here we go. One of our regional BMW car clubs actually organizes these events at the BMW Performance Center. And BMW, because they want to support the clubs and they want to support car enthusiasts, especially those focused on BMWs, they provide us with a really great experience. They compress the training and classroom time in order to provide us with maximum seat time. And I should mention too, I mean, that's another way in which this class is unique. You are out there typically with only one other person in the vehicle. So you're basically driving half the time. And my understanding from other driving experiences is that typically you're not getting that much time in the seat, right? They're either shorter or there are too many people sharing a car or things like that. So what I've heard from many, many people who have done other types of events is that this is, one of the best values because you get so much seat time. Because these are organized through the car club, they also give us special pricing. And it's gone up over the years, naturally, over about 25 years. But currently this year I paid $795. And if you think about it, you're using their vehicles, you're burning through their tires, their fuel. All this stuff is on BMW, and these vehicles are maintained immaculately, by the way. So just in terms of the consumables, I feel like I'm coming out ahead. So, as opposed to having like my own car and taking it to the track. Because, if you take your own car to the track, you have to worry about the consumables. Typically, you're going to want to pick up track day insurance, which is not cheap, and things like that. So I feel like it's a tremendous value when done through the car club. Now, if you just go to the BMW website and, pick and pay for a class that way, you're going to pay considerably more. And if you go to one of the other experiences, like the Porsche experience, again, you're going to be paying considerably more for less time in the seat. And as a bonus, it's located near Greenville, South Carolina, which I recently discovered has one of the most beautiful downtown areas I've ever seen. So it's, if you get a chance to go down there and attend the Performance Center events, or if you just want to take a little trip, go to Greenville, South Carolina and check it out. It's beautiful. P.S. Now, this is super secret, so shh. You don't even have to have a BMW in order to enjoy the car club pricing. Right? I have owned BMWs for many years, but I do not currently own a BMW. However, I've maintained my membership just to get these discounted prices. Thanks for joining me today on the Amira channel on Game of Life 411. And I hope you found something helpful or just found the video entertaining today. If there's one thing I could ask, it would be to please share my YouTube channel and my content and join my Facebook group. Well, maybe that's two things, but you get the idea. I'd really appreciate it because we're trying to grow the channel, and these are the things that keep me motivated to keep creating new content.
It's your world and I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut to move your butt.
Please subscribe now. You know you want to. And why not go nuts and set notifications on so you'll be notified every time I put out new content.